In this video, I will show you how to simplify square roots with negative numbers. So for example, square root of 9 is positive 3. But square root of negative 9, well, there is no square root of a negative number because there's no number that I can multiply by itself to get negative 9. Because 3 times 3 is 9, and negative 3 times negative 3 is still positive 9. But we have this thing called imaginary number, so whenever I have a square root of a negative, that's going to be imaginary, so it'll be 3i. And likewise, square root of negative 25 will be 5i. Square root of 49 is going to be 7, and we don't need the i because that's a positive square root. And finally, square root of negative 100 is going to be 10i. And for this example, we will simplify the square root of negative 20. So by simplifying, all we want to do is break it up into its prime factors. So what two numbers multiply to get 20? We can do 4 times 5. And then for 4, what times what gives me 4? 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. But for 2, I can't go on any further because the only way to break up 2 is 1 times 2. But we still have a 2, so I'm going to circle this because I am at the end. And same thing for 5. There's no way I can break up 5, so I'm going to circle this. You might notice that there's another way to break up 20. Instead of 4 times 5, we could have done, say, like, for example, 2 times 10. So let's try 20, and then we try 2 times 10. So 2, I'm going to circle because we cannot go on any further. And for 10, it's 2 times 5. So as you can see, when I am looking only at the ends, I get the same result no matter how I broke it up. I got 1 5 and 2 2's. Okay, and then to get our simplified answer, we're going to draw the square root symbol, and then we will find any pairs. So pairs are the circle numbers that are the same. I have 2 2's. So because they have a pair, we will put them outside. And so this is where the 2 comes from. And singles go inside. So this 5 go inside. And because this is a negative, that means my answer needs to have an I. So 2i square root of 5. That's the answer. For this example, let's break up 12. We can try 6 times 2. For 6, we can break it up as 2 times 3. And so 2, I cannot go any further with the 2. Same thing with the 3, can't go any further. And same thing with this 2. So now, to build our answer, we'll only look at the numbers that are circled. So let's find a pair of same numbers. So we have these 2 and 2. So because that's a pair that can go outside, it's like you have a friend, you can go hang out. And this 3 is by itself, so this 3 stays inside the house. And then because of this negative, the answer needs to have an I outside of the square root, so 2i square root 3. For this example, we have 2 square roots that are multiplied together. So I will break each one up separately. So let's start with the 40. 40, we can do 4 times 10. The 4, break it up, 2 times 2. And that is as far as we can go. For the 10, 5 times 2. And that is also as far as we can go. Now a common mistake that I see a lot of students do is when they try to break up 10, they do 5 times 5. But that actually gives you 25. So we would do the same with the 50. So what can get us 50? Well, 5 times 10 is 50. So for the 5, we'll circle this. And 10 is going to be 5 times 2. And so there's a really easy way to double check that you're breaking it up correctly. So let's look at the green circles. 2 times 2 is 4, times 5 is going to be 20, times 2 is going to be 40. So you see how we get the original number back. And look at the blue part. 5 times 5 is 25, times 2 is 50. So this is how I know this is broken up correctly. Okay, so putting this all together, let's find pairs. So I have a pair of 2's, so I'm going to scratch them out and put them on the outside. So remember, they have a friend, so they can go outside. I have a pair of 5's, so this 5 and this 5. So that can also go on the outside. I have another pair of 2's, so this one and this one. So that can go on the outside. And I have a single 5, so the single stays inside. And now we're going to multiply this together. So 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 2 is 20. So we have 20 on the outside, square root of 5 on the inside. And finally, remember how we have this negative here? There needs to be an I. And this is the final answer.